Blake Cousins, Third Phase Moon. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Tonight we are live, and we have some new video coming in out of Mexico. 2 flying discs in broad daylight. It's quite incredible. We're going to be posting this up on our YouTube channel. Right away, I want to share this video to you coming out of Mexico. 2 metallic discs in the middle of the city, a busy city of Mexico, and you could see closely that there's a bus that flies right past the 2 UFOs, and you can see the UFOs behind the glass. It would be really hard to do some kind of fake. If this were a fake, they did a really good job. I'm not sure if it is, but that's why we put it up. We're letting the people decide. I want you, the people, to tell me, what do you think is going on? I think this is legit video. Everything about it really is amazing. And there was a major volcanic eruption in Mexico as well. And I know volcanic anomalies, volcanic explosions, and activity are a great source for UFO sightings. Is this some kind of coincidence? Because this video was given to us right on our Facebook, just pretty much moments after the news coming out of Mexico of this massive volcanic explosion. And now you got these 2 disc-shaped objects that resemble flying saucers, in my opinion. Wow, it boggles the mind. These videos that come in on a daily basis right here at Third Phase of Moon, on our Facebook, on our Gmail, every day people are posting up links to YouTube and having us view them. That's for sure. And if you want to send it to us and you captured something incredible, my email address is in every single description of every single YouTube video that we upload. So, wow, I'm just there's a lot of callers tonight. This is good. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just get straight to it, right? That's what people want to hear. They want to hear incredible stories. So if you've got a story that you want to share tonight, call in. The number is 347-934-0378, and press number 1 on your keypad, and you'll be taken straight to the top of the call list. Your notepad, your phone device, just press number 1, and we'll get to you as fast as possible. So, again, if you've got something new that nobody's ever heard of before, a new story, maybe a first-time caller, it's always good. It's always good. So let's bring them in. 845, you're live. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, Blake?
Doing great. How you doing? Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Kingston, New York, upstate New York.
All right. Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing? My UFO experience was back in 1997. It was actually on Unsolved Mysteries. The UFO that I saw was a giant boomerang-shaped UFO. Man, this thing was probably as big as a football field.
Okay. So you were featured on the show back in the day by Unsolved Mysteries, that famous TV show. Was it Robert Stack, the host of that show?
Yes, and it was the UFO that went over the Hudson Valley.
Oh wow! So it must be the producers must have thought that was an incredible event. Could you go? Let's hear about that. That sounds amazing.
Thousands of people saw it that day. When I first saw it, we didn't, I didn't know what it was, So a couple of our friends, we got in the car and we started to follow this thing, and we got to an enclosure. It's like a beach area, It's like a water, and then you could see a bridge in the distance. A lot of lights on the bridge, and it's called the Rhinecliff Bridge. And when this thing came into view, you could see there was three groups of lights. So there was 9 lights on each side of the boomerang. It was a boomerang shape. There was 9 lights on each side, and they were glowing from blue to green to yellow to red. And there was a giant white light in the front. It was moving very slow, had no sound to it. And you could literally see the cars on the bridge stopped, just looking at this thing. It was maybe about 100, maybe about 100 feet in the air. It was really low. That's why so many people saw what they saw. I mean, it looked just like a boomerang.
Wow. So you have a boomerang-shaped craft. How big was this thing? And it was stopping the traffic on the bridge?
Oh, yeah, you could see that. You could literally, it was nighttime. And when you get towards the bridge, there's so much light by that bridge. And we seen the lights, and it was so low. And when it got towards the bridge, that's when you can see it was a boomerang shape. But this thing was so big. It was bigger than a football field. It was just unbelievably big.
Okay, so let me ask you this. How did Unsolved Mysteries TV program and their producers contact you, or did you contact them? Did you have some photographic evidence?
I never contacted anybody about it. I mean, I know a lot of people saw it. It went from Kingston, New York. It went over towards Rhinebeck to Poughkeepsie. It went through so many different towns. There were so many people that called in. And then one day I was watching TV. I used to like watching Unsolved Mysteries, and there was the story right there in Unsolved Mysteries.
Okay, now I got it. So the Unsolved Mysteries program, you just so happened to catch it, and then they were describing and explaining the exact same event that you saw on the exact same date.
Exact same event. Yep, exact same event. And it was just unbelievable. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. I mean, something that big that doesn't make any noise. And the way that the lights were grouped, they were grouped in threes on the wings. And there was 9 lights on each wing, and then there was one huge white light in the front of it. And it was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. You know, people always used to talk about UFOs and stuff. I never seen anything until that point in my life. And now I see them all the time. You know, me and my wife, we see them all the time. And actually, not too long ago, I actually saw some fighter jets down here. And that was also on the news. I mean, we live in the Hudson Valley. I mean, there's no Air Force bases around here or anything like that. And there was 6 regular, it looked like F-16 jets, but then there was one black one that was in the back of the pack, and they were in the triangle, formation. And man, you heard these things coming from so far away. Everybody started walking out their houses like, what is that? What is that? And I'm looking out my window, and I see these fighter jets, and I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I was stunned.
So this event that happened, the boomerang event, let's get back to that one. What about the day after? How did you talk to anybody that witnessed it? Any friends of yours see the same thing, or was it?
Oh, yeah. Even my wife was there. I had a whole bunch of my friends were there. I mean, we hopped in the car. 5 of us literally hopped in the car and started chasing this thing. And we came down to we were down at the Kingston Point Beach. We couldn't go any farther at the beach. It's the beach. You got the water, and from the water you can see the bridge perfectly. You could see the traffic going across the bridge at nighttime. And when we finally stopped, everybody hopped out of the car. We ran onto the sand as close to the water as we could possibly get, and we just stood there and just watched it for a good 10 minutes.
Then did it just hover off? What happened to it?
Yep, it just hovered off. It was there for a long time. It hovered off, but it was going extremely slow. So that's why everybody saw it. I mean, it wasn't like it was moving extremely fast. No, this thing was moving extremely slow. There was no way you could miss the lights just flickering from blue to red. I mean, they were just flickering so quick. But that one big, huge light that was on the front, and it was white, and it was bigger than a spotlight. It was like huge. But once it got towards that bridge, you can see the boomerang shape because of all the lights that were around the bridge. It literally flew right over top of the bridge. I'd say maybe about 50 feet over the bridge. All the cars were stopped. Because at nighttime, like I said, you could see the cars moving, but every car just stopped. on that bridge. And like I said, we watched it for about 10 minutes and it just went off, went at a distance. And then other people must have kept seeing it as it was going. And maybe a couple weeks later, I saw it in Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, I don't think Unsolved Mysteries knew of the term, the TR3B, but it sure...
I don't think they did. No, they didn't. They didn't. No, they only explained it as a boomerang-shaped UFO. That was the only way they explained it, was a boomerang-shaped UFO. They didn't have any name for it or anything like that. It was just a boomerang-shaped UFO. But I know if you probably looked up boomerang-shaped UFO over Hudson Valley and Unsolved Mysteries, it would probably pop up.
Well, you know what, man? We're going to take a look at that, do some research, but it's callers like you that really make the whole UFO phenomenon real, because you've seen this. Thousands of other people saw the exact same thing you did over there, and that's what makes this show what it is. It's people like you that share your incredible experiences, and from what I hear, how you just explained it, you witnessed something that is definitely, there's some extraterrestrial involvement there. All right, this is Third Phase of Moon. We're broadcasting live. And we got some callers. We're going to get back to that 240 area code in just a bit. Everybody, stand by. Now listen to Paul Barrett's song called Gravity. We're broadcasting live. Everybody, welcome back to Third Phase. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. Press number 1 on your keypad, and you'll be taken straight to the top of the call list. We're going to bring in 240, see if we could reestablish that connection. How are you sounding?
Well, how do I sound this time? I'm under a pretty bad storm over here. I'm on the East Coast in Maryland, and we've got a lot of snow right now. So how am I sounding?
Oh, yeah, you're coming in pretty good. You're coming in good. Okay, you got something you want to share? Let's hear it.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, you had a radio show on, and there was a gentleman that had come on, and he was talking about some experiences that he had in his bedroom with a shadow. And I came on and I saw YouTube, so I thought I'd put a comment on about some experiences that my wife and I had. As a matter of fact, mine starts when I was younger. I had an experience with like a shadow entity in my house that was roaming around my house. It scared me one night. As I grew up and stuff, I used to tell it as Halloween stories, and people, they didn't believe me about it. Oh, that sounds weird. So one day, my wife and I, we decided that we were going to go to the store. This is after we put my son on the bus. He was in kindergarten at the time. He would go to evening school. So we decided to go to the store. And the store is probably about a mile from our house. And this is a beautiful day, broad daylight, beautiful sun in the sky, slight breeze, and we're on our way back from the grocery store. And at the top of the hill, we look ahead of us. We're in our car. We look ahead of us, and there looks like there's something stepping out of a cornfield. Now, there was a cornfield on either side of the road. So I looked at my wife, and I said, step on it. I want to see what this is. And as we drove up closer, it looked like a 7-foot-tall shadow coming out of the cornfield and crossing the road. So
wow.
We got up, and I said, yeah, we got up on it. We drove right up on it as fast as we could. And she stopped the car. Both of us jumped out. It reached the other side of the road, and it stopped. And it turned around before it continued into the cornfield on the other side of the road, which gave me a chance to step up on it. So I walked up to it, and it just stood there silent. Had no like facial features, no real features to it, except it was like a living 3-dimensional silhouette, like a living walking shadow. It was about 7 foot tall, and I got right up in it, circling around. My wife stood back a few feet, watching what I was doing. And I got up in its face after I circled around it, looking up and down.
You confronted it? You confronted this shadowy figure? Wow. What did you think? Is this supernatural? That takes a lot of guts.
I wanted to find out, because when I was a kid, it scared the hell out of me. You know what I mean? But now I'm older, and now I'm curious as to what I saw. But this one was different, because the one that I saw as a kid was bigger, it was bulkier, and it had red eyes. This one didn't have any eyes to it, didn't have any features of eyes. It just had like a smooth face, a bump where a nose should be, But it was just like a living silhouette of a black shadow. So I circled it up and down, looking it up and down, and I come back around to the front of it, and I stood there and looked at it, and I said, look, buddy, I said, I don't know where you come from, and I really don't know what you are, but I'm going to make sure that people know that you exist and that you're out there. And I turned around back at my wife, and it didn't move. We both walked back to the car slowly, watching it, got back in the car, and it stood there and watched us pass by it. Its head turned and watched us pass by. And then as we passed by, it turned around and continued into the cornfield. And I just
all right, man. Okay. Now this is spooky stuff, because what if it wanted to do something to you, and you're trying to call this thing out now that you're almost asking for it, but it seemed like nothing happened. Why didn't you get your camera or try and film this?
I know, man. No. This happened in like 2000. So, we didn't have phones with cameras, and our phones back then were like, walkie-talkies and stuff. So no, I didn't have a camera on me. We ran to the store. I didn't have an instant camera on me or anything. I really wish I had.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, no problem there. No problem. But okay, let me ask you about this. Did you feel any kind of temperature change? Did it
No.
Did you see any kind of facial movement in this thing?
No, not at all. But I tell you this, okay? When it walked, it looked like the air that it disturbed would become smoke, because when it was standing still, it didn't have near as much smoke around it as it did when it walked. So it was almost like it was disturbing the air and an aura around it. As far as temperature, I couldn't tell you that because I was outside. It was a nice, bright, sunny day. There was a slight breeze, and there was really no way for me to tell a difference in temperature, unless, of course, it was something that might have stuck to him. But I couldn't tell something like that.
Wow. So this dark shadowy figure in broad daylight in the cornfield on the road. So how did the light cut between, how would it's? I can imagine almost like the shadowy figure, but wow, the contrast must have been quite amazing to see a silhouetted shadowy figure and you're walking around it. You and your girlfriend have a lot of guts.
You can see, because you could see through it, but it was like looking through black smoke. Because I'll tell you this, the shadow, it continued to undulate and move all throughout the body. So you couldn't tell whether it had an expression or not because the shadow was continuously moving. The smoke was continuously making this form.
And then the thing just walked off into the cornfield, never to be seen again. Did you ever
now, here's the thing.
Anything like this again?
Can I say that I'm not experiencing anything like this? I don't know, because you could go outside at night and the woods be right across from you, and you wouldn't see this thing looking at you because it's so dark. You know what I mean? Now, when my son got home that evening, when he came home off the bus, he went out to play, and I took a nap on the couch. That evening when I called him in to eat, he told me that he was outside playing hide and seek with a shadow man. So we were only a mile from that store.
All right, now this
half a mile from where we
scary.
saw this from our house. So I'm wondering if it's possible if it followed us.
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but we've had a few callers just like yourself talking about these shadowy, weird figures that are quite menacing, but in the darkest smoke, almost translucent, almost ghost-like, but with a weird apparition of smoke. And then it resembles a human figure. All right, okay, we got more callers. That was intense and quite scary, in my opinion. If you imagine yourself on a road, in a cornfield, walking around a dark shadow. Whoa. Okay, stand by, everybody. Now, this is a Paul Barrett song called Life on Mars. Cousins, we're back, Third Phase of Moon. Wow. Paul Barrett's tracks are available on iTunes. The links are below. He's got 3 albums, as everybody knows. Probably one of the most listened to music artists in the world, I would imagine, with over 220 million views on our YouTube channel. He's been listened that many times. Plus, you just never know. You could add it up over and over. Probably a world record, I'd imagine, for the most listened to music on the internet. Quite amazing. All right, let's bring in the callers. Let's see what's going on. 346, area code 346. You made it. How you doing? Hello, you copy? 346. You there? All right, 346. Gotta go. We're gonna make some room for the calling board. Again, if you want to get to the top, all you have to do is press number 1. Let's go to 575.
Hey, what's
575. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. I'm calling from southern New Mexico. I've shared a couple stories already before in your show. One was of a visible humanoid being I seen. Another one was like a TR-3B looking aircraft. But tonight I got some different. I've been trying to do some research on that I've seen probably back in 2006, and I can't find nothing on the internet about. But what happened was I was in my backyard at that time. It was at nighttime, and what it was a shooting star, but this was like a gigantic shooting star. It's probably like about almost the size of a freaking Walmart. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's this. You have a lot of activity over there in New Mexico, right? Is it southern New Mexico?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Get some video, because I got a feeling, because you've already had these experiences in such a quick amount of time, that this will probably relate into future sightings and encounters. So definitely keep in touch. Keep us updated. Appreciate the call in. Okay, let's go to area code 508. 508. Let's see how your line's doing. How you doing?
Hello, how you doing?
Doing good. You're coming in loud and clear. Yep.
Yeah.
You got something you want to share tonight?
Yeah, I know your delay is a little bit on the audio. I'm a regular listener. I sent you a video, the Honolulu, a couple chemtrails today. I just wanted to tell you a quick thing that happened to me. Unfortunately, it wasn't an unbelievable experience with, seeing, getting abducted or anything like that, but it was an amazing thing.
Sure. Yeah, let's hear it.
So my grandfather was a pilot, 122nd Fighter Squadron, War II. My other grandfather, Navy, all my family military, and basically throughout my life I've seen crazy stuff in the sky, things that I knew were insane, but just things that, you never knew, you just assume were nuts and whatever. Coming from a military background, I've seen aircraft. I've grown up loving Falcon, stealth fighters, all types of great fighters. And I ride street bikes, I race. My name's Chris. Regardless, so I love speed. I've seen air that I've just been shocked by, but nothing would have been like, I'm always the scientific person. I'm always like, show me proof, whatever. So everything I just told you guys, whatever, you cannot explain anything. Well, when my daughter was 2 years old, I was in my apartment building. Okay, her mother was there. She was everything. I was sober, a good person, on the floor playing with my daughter, stand up, and I was in Medford in Boston at the time. I know what it looked like, tell you the address, the location. Stood up and see a flight. Thought to myself, wow, there's no aircraft markers within that area, no blinking red lights. That's odd. So stood up, looked at it, thought that's not normally there. Within that millisecond, this light shot right outside the window from me standing up. Within that 3 seconds, it shot right outside the window to my face. It was a orange reddish orb perfectly. I looked right at it, shocked. I couldn't features. I couldn't anything. All I could see was a circle. It was reddish orange, and it shot right at my face. It looked like a what you would think as a aircraft little red light from far away, and then shot right there. Within 2 seconds of me looking at it, within it, right in front of my face, outside of the pane glass, it shot off at like a 90-degree angle and was gone instantly. And I said, right
now you know you saw something you can't explain.
I said right to my daughter's, mother. We weren't married, but, I said right to her. I said, you see that? She said, no. I said, this red thing just shot at my face. I freaked out. I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. Because regardless of what it is, this thing intelligently shot at my face, stood there, for me to stare at this thing, for this thing to look at me. God knows whether it scanned me up and down, what it did, I don't know. There was no time loss, nothing like that. And then it just took off. There was no 0 to 60. This thing was done. I raised 3. I have a brand new 2017 Shelby Cobra. Okay? This thing was gone. Instantly. Wasn't drinking.
Wow. Was awesome. This is you've seen these exact same things that this caller Chris has just explained to us. We've seen them. We've all seen them, and what's amazing is people get to share it right here at Third Phase Moon, and that's what's amazing, to get the word out, because over and over again on this show, I've heard things for the first time, and other people have called in, and nobody's ever heard their stories, but then they start sharing their experiences because they heard what they just heard on this show, and it relates with them, and that's incredible. That's incredible. Okay, we got a few more callers. I'm going to take the caller coming in from 810 coming up soon. I've looked at her videos that she sent to me, and some people get confused out there. Some people are getting confused on actually what they're capturing, but we'll go over it. Stand by. This is Blake Cousins, Third Phase Moon, and this is Paul Barrett's new track. It's called Stargate. Enjoy. Broadcasting live from the Big Island of Hawaii. This is Third Phase of Moon. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, let's go over a few of the videos and photographs that I receive every single day on our email and our Facebook. And a lot of them, people are saying they're seeing some strange things. They're seeing some strange things. And I want to invite area code 810 to the show. How you doing? Thanks for calling in. And again, tell everybody your YouTube channel.
Hi, Blake. Leslie here.
Hey, Leslie. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I'm just making some videos because I can't always, capture them on video, especially at night. That's what the Eye in the Sky video was about. And
well, yeah, Leslie, that's one of the videos I want to go over with you because I did look at your video. Trust me, I've received hundreds of these photographs and videos of this Eye in the Sky phenomenon. But when you look at it, there's a sun up there and it's reflecting off. Your lens reflects off the sun, so it creates this illusion like there's something in the sky waving around the sun, but it is an optical illusion, a refraction of light off the sun. It's called a lens flare, and I get these photographs all the time. I'm hoping if you relook at that, maybe try and shoot under the same circumstance, you'll probably get the same lens flare effect.
Well, the first one, if you notice, I took through the window at my girlfriend's house. But then I went outside about 15 minutes later and took the shot again. And it was still there, but I was behind a building, and I didn't really know what I was looking at.
Let me ask you this. Were you witnessing it with your naked eye, or were you using the camera device?
Both. I could see it with my naked eye, but I didn't switch over to video. I wish I would have. But
okay,
the same object was there when it turned evening, like an hour later, and I took it. And then you see that I photo edited and saw that it was actually a ship. But at that point, it was just a white light like a star.
Oh, okay.
At night.
Well, thanks, Leslie. Yeah, these pictures with a white star and a black background is really hard to decipher what's going down. It's probably a star. Unless you've got some background, foreground. And then there's a lot of lens flare photographs that, you don't need to send me lens flare photographs, people. They're lens flares in most cases. If you don't see it with the naked eye and you see some kind of anomaly on your camera, then most likely it's an anomaly, I'd imagine, in most cases. Okay. We're going to go to area code 845. 845, you made it to the show.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing tonight? What's your name?
Oh, hi. This is Wayne's wife. He called earlier. He accidentally hit the button again. However, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say to you that we appreciate you and your brother for doing this show, and our whole family enjoys your show. When he called earlier about the boomerang thing, UFO that we saw when we were teenagers, I saw it as well, but we weren't.
Wow, amazing. Great.
We actually saw it on the same beach at the same time, but we weren't married and we weren't there together. We were there separately. So
Okay.
I didn't
So
know
were you guys were you guys going out during this time, or were you guys strangers at this point?
No, we were strangers. We just had met at school, probably we went to the same school, but we didn't even live in the same town. I just happened to be up here where we live now. And when we saw that on Unsolved Mysteries, it was like a rerun show. And I said, "Oh, my God, I saw that." He's like, "No, you didn't. I was there." I said, "I was there."
Wow, that's like something that is an amazing connection you guys must have felt at that moment, realizing that you both saw something that was a historical event. What do you think it was? What went through your brain, and were you automatically thinking extraterrestrial? I want to get your thoughts.
I'm sorry. I was thinking I need to get out of there, and I was actually sun tanning early in the day, fell asleep, woke up, and it was dusk, and I was trying to get off from where I was at Pretty Park, which is right there at Point Beach, and I was coming across the sand, and just like a flash when he told me that he saw it, at that moment he told me he saw it, I remember a flash of looking at the boys on the beach as I was running off the beach, and it was him and his brother and a couple other people that I know now, but I didn't know them then like that.
You know, this what I like about it is the corroboration of evidence. And this event over there, the Hudson Valley, it is historical. Do you remember the exact date? What were you doing that day? Was it a weekend? Was it a weekday?
It was a weekday. I was actually not supposed to be in Kingston. My mom didn't even know I was in Kingston. Well, I'm 36 now, so I hope she's not mad. But I had snuck up to Kingston to hang out with my friends. It was after school on I think a Thursday or a Friday, but it wasn't 97, it was like 96 because I had my daughter in 97, so.
It was all black.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
that thing was amazing, and to be honest, not to put two and two together, after we got married, and we've been together for 13 years now, we've been friends for a long time, and I would implore you to get a video camera and put it on our house up in the air, because we live about 150 feet left of where we saw that ship. We happen to live right there where we ended up being married and settling down. It's kind of weird.
Well, yeah. Well, you got a cell phone. You have camera equipment. They shoot in 4K pretty much nowadays, so I'm sure you're good to go.
We tried to take a couple videos of some, obviously we see stuff all the time. There's a lot of things going on around here. But anyway, we're going to try to get a better video camera, because when we record on the phone, you can it's really dark. It only comes up little bits of light. You can't see anything. It's kind of weird. I don't know if it's my phone or...
Well, remember, when shooting at night, it's a trick, because if you're going to shoot a light in the sky, it's really difficult. We're looking for those broad daylight sightings, or if you could get some perspective, that's always good. And with city lights, you live around city lights, get some kind of a, street light really comes in handy for perspective. Even yell real loud, get the neighborhood woken up, and tell them to come on out to see what you're seeing. So we get a lot of eyewitness testimony.
The one event that happened where it was crazy, there were so many things in the sky that night. I happened to be watching a meteor shower. Well, so many things happened that night, and I recorded it. And all my neighbors in this little town, we have just a couple hundred people in East Kingston, our town. And yeah, I know. Sorry, he's interrupting. Everybody was out there that night, and I recorded it, but you can't really see what was happening. It was the night an asteroid was coming down, and this lightning bolt came out of the ground about 17 miles away. There's Iron Mountain. I don't know if you're aware of what that is, but this thing came out of the ground, and it was like a spectacular light show where all these little pieces broke off, and it was amazing. It was the most amazing thing besides the UFO that we saw up close. Sorry.
Wow, get camera equipment. Scratch what I just said. Yeah, buy some camera equipment. Sounds like you got some activity going on right next to you. And you know what? When meteor showers are happening, celestial events, the aliens, the extraterrestrials, they know they're going on, and people are going to be looking up in the sky. So, as I always say, have your camera ready and have a steady hand, because you just never know when things are going down. And I appreciate everybody who joined me this special Monday night radio show, the new time. And we're going to be doing it again Monday. The time's going to be going on till the new daylight saving kicks in. So join me on Monday. And everybody, stay safe this whole week, and we'll see you Friday. And stay tuned to our Third Phase of Moon update. You're going to see this UFO video, 2 flying saucers in Mexico City. Quite insane, in my opinion. Now, this is Paul Barrett's track called Lost in Space. Enjoy, everybody. We'll see you.